I am going to start recording in 3, 2, 1. And this is another episode of Master Nyarlathotep with Maxine, Lottie, and William. And we're going to pick up right where we left off. You were on the train, and various things were happening in various compartments. And Maxine, I think, was the first to hear something wrong out in the hall. And after hastily getting partially dressed and heading out into the hall, sees a glow coming from the little window of your compartment, and Lottie and William eventually catch sight of that as well. So that's where we left it. Maxine is rushing down the hallway. Lottie and William are just now realizing that there is a glow coming from in there, and it's kind of that telltale flickery orange glow of fire. And you can hear also, Maxine, behind you a little bit of commotion as the conductor rather sleepily comes around and asks what's going on.
Max looks around frantically so she can see flames coming through the little porthole or under the
Well,
door.
yeah, it's really the porthole, the little curtain that you can pull over. No one ever closed that when you left Rodney in there. So you just basically see in the glass the flickery orange light, which tells you, the first thing that comes to your mind is fire.
Yeah. So you said that we have a shared bathroom on every car.
Yeah, well, you're standing right next to the WC, the water closets for this car here.
Okay. She's going to look at the door and oh my God, William, Lottie, and then she's gonna kind of shout, I'm coming, and she dashes back over to here and says, throw me a blanket or something.
Okay.
Her plan is to soak a blanket in the toilet or the sink or whatever she can in the bathroom.
Okay, so let's see. So William and Lottie, I want you both to make listen checks. Things are a little chaotic right this moment.
I can't hear shit.
So William, you very clearly hear Maxine call out.
What was Maxine's exact words?
She said, Lottie, William, I'm coming.
Okay, and William had rolled horribly on getting ready, I think, or
Yeah, so he is really very inappropriately dressed at the moment.
okay, so
Yeah.
so he's like maybe I'm imagining him like maybe on the floor trying to get his pants on or something, and
Yeah, and rolling around as he.
yeah.
Lottie's kind of bumping into him. It's a cramped compartment, and you're trying to get pants on and falling down, but you clearly hear Maxine say that.
He's stumbling, trying to get his pants on. His eyes are wide open, and he looks to Lottie as he hears Maxine shouting in the hallway, and he's like, Maxine, just a moment. And he will continue to try to get his clothes on.
Okay. So what is Lottie doing?
We know, we know there's something going on out here. Do we know that there's a fire?
I don't think you quite do yet. Like you hear that there's a commotion outside, and you hear Maxine yelling, and you're kind of quickly throwing clothes on.
Yeah, I think, Lottie had a success. Probably not fully dressed yet, but
yep.
she slides open their compartment door and she pokes her head out, looking left and right. What in the blazes is going on?
And you hear like a flare of fire from inside the compartment, like a rush of fire, like a rush of air, and you actually feel just a little bit of heat kind of seep out from under the door.
I'm assuming Max sees or hears Lottie poke her head out of William's door.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God! I thought you were in our compartment. And she points. There's a fire. Is anybody in there?
Our new friend, he's in there. He fell asleep. He's drunk.
Oh hell, Ingrid, hurry! Give me that blanket.
You suddenly hear a shout from inside the compartment, like ah!
Lottie is going to. At this point, she doesn't really care about whether she's not fully dressed. She's not. She's going to reach back into into William's bunk, ripping a blanket from one of the beds, and she's going to use that to try and pry open this door here to try and get him out.
All right, your choice of dexterity or strength to rip it off quickly.
Dexterity. There we go.
Okay.
Wow. Look at that roll.
It takes a couple quick tugs, but you get it off the bed. And then reach out. And Maxine, what are you doing while Lottie's doing this?
Has Ingrid tossed anything to me?
No, she's totally confused and at the door. And she's actually asking in German something. She's like not fully comprehending what's going on, and the conductor is also somewhat confusedly saying, "What's going on here?"
There's a fire in that compartment, and there's somebody in there. It's Rodney. I need somebody hand me a blanket or a towel. I'm gonna soak it so we can get in there.
And then Lottie, you've grabbed the door handle now, and you can whip it open. If that's what you want to do.
That's her plan. She wants to try and get Rodney out. She's not standing in front of the door when it opens. She's going to pull and stand to the side with it as she pulls it.
Okay. You pull the door open, and there is a massive ball of fire. Like, it seems like the whole compartment is engulfed in flames. And when you open that door, there's like a rush of hot air. And William, you catch it as your compartment door starts to, slide back closed again, from Lottie not holding it anymore. Maxine, you and Lottie, I think instinctively probably both jump back. It's kind of hard not to. And Ingrid lets out a shout, and now you can see a couple doors of other compartments along the way. It's opening. A head pokes out to curiously what's going on. And William, make a listen check for me again. Uh, can you, for a moment, just pop into the next channel down for voice? Just want to tell you something quick.
Sure.
Oh, we're dead.
Okay.
Okay. Was that on the left of or the right? Did I?
That way.
Okay. William is how many does he have his pants on at least?
Yes. By this
Probably,
point, he's got
yeah.
his pants on.
And does he see the man anymore that was in our? I forgot his name. It was
Rodney?
Rodney. Yeah.
Oh no, no. See what happened when Lottie steps out to do that door? Your door. These are sliding doors, and they kind of automatically slowly close if you're not holding them. So this one has started to roll back. So as you're getting your pants on, you're losing sight of what's going on out there.
Okay. As William's putting his pants on, he's going to go to the window and try to look out
Okay,
in
so
that direction.
All right, you would have had the curtain closed, I'm sure, for what was going on.
Okay.
So yeah, you whip back the curtain just in time to see a blue ball of fire hovering outside the window. This is the closest I have to what that might look like, and you swear you see eyes in the fire. And so I am going to need you to make a sanity check.
I think this is his first mythos experience.
Yeah, it is. He's not very good on the sanity either.
Oh snap! That's a fumble.
Oh,
How did you fumble? Oh yeah, that's a fumble. Okay, so lose a die 6, and then that because of that fumble, I'm gonna say you are momentarily just stunned. And for a moment, there's this. It seems like an eternity, and of course it is not, where these blinking eyes just stare you down, and you stare at it in like rapt fascination and I assume terror, though that's up to you. I mean, it is frightening, but it's hovering along, and your mind is doing these calculations that the train is puffing along at probably 25, 30 miles an hour, and this thing is hovering, like in orbit, as it were, like hovering even with the train.
Yeah.
And then you can sense it gathering itself up, and it suddenly plunges at the glass of the chamber, of your compartment. So I'm going to need you to. I'm going to make this a power check. Your ability to focus suddenly and kind of snap out of this. And I assume you also. Oh, you need to drop your sanity 3 points, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That's your blue.
Oh, okay. That's 4. That's -3. All right. Yeah. So as William's holding probably his buckle still, and he's got his wife beater on. And as he pulls the window aside and sees this, he stands there just like dumbfounded, his mouth open and his hand up almost like to shield the light, and he just stands there frozen, not knowing what to do, just watching this thing. And as it starts to build up like it's about to attack, he starts to stammer a bit and like he's about to stumble back, but here let's see if he does that.
No. So you're a little too late. So it smashes into the glass and you take 7 fire damage from heat. Like it kind of plows into you and singes you really badly. And I'm going to need you to make a Constitution check, because that is more than half your hit points. And we'll ignore... Okay, yeah. So you actually pass out from the pain. Like, you're going to be okay for... Like, you're on your way down from the pain, so you can roleplay that how you want, but you're going to pass out soon. The pain is overwhelming, so you're going to go into shock quickly.
Okay, so he's, as the flames burst through the window, he stumbles back and screams out in pain, kind of backpedaling and falling into the door and crumbling to the ground. They probably heard that, though.
Oh, yeah, you
shouting.
hear that. There's a little bit of activity out here first, though. Lottie, you got the door. What was your reaction going to be after getting the door back and seeing the fire? Hello? Did we lose you?
Yeah, sorry. Basically, she was going to look inside and see if she could find and grab Rodney to pull him out, if it was possible.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's there, but he's already, let's see, been burned once. Yeah. So he's screaming in pain as he's being burned, and you also, Lottie, see that this fire isn't exactly inanimate fire. It is actually moving around. The compartment itself, when you reach in for Rodney, you can tell the compartment itself isn't really yet on fire, although some things have caught fire. The fire is moving about the chamber, and it's almost kind of bouncing around inside there. And Rodney has already been hit badly. Let's see if he can make his... Yeah, he did not. Oh, I'm sorry. Can we back up for a second, William? I forgot to let you have a Constitution. Oh, so that would be your first Constitution check. So you took full damage. Make another Constitution check for me. Sorry, to see if you pass out. I should have let you have a Constitution to have it. I missed it on that macro. Nope. Oh, well. So Lottie, I'm going to need you to also make a sanity check.
All right. I'm not doing too well.
You can take your die 6.
Now Lottie, seeing the flame burning around the room with eyes staring back as she just shudders, takes a few steps back.
Yep, okay.
And I don't... she hears William scream as well, but she looks down to Maxine coming up, and she blinks a few times. There's something different about this fire. Do you have anything to put it out?
I don't know. Has anybody handed her anything? If they haven't, she's gonna just yank this conductor's jacket off at his back.
Okay, yeah. He's starting to try to go around you, Maxine, and he's saying to you, please step out of the way, ma'am. I'll take care of this.
She's sick. Give me a jacket. It'll help put out the flames.
Make it intimidate or persuade, your choice.
Let's see what's better.
And Lottie, you need to make a Constitution check. You might only take one from that.
Oh, for sanity?
No, for the. Oh, I'm sorry. No, my bad. My
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, I'm thinking the burning, but you haven't been burned yet.
Not. Ugh.
All right. No, he's not giving you his jacket. He actually reaches out to take your shoulders, and he glances. You know, as he's glancing to the right, and he can see that there's danger, there's fire, and he's trying to move you back, to get out of the way to safety.
All right, she's just gonna. She's working. If he's not letting her, she's running back over to Ingrid's room to grab whatever she can.
Okay, so you just he just kind of flips places with you to get you to safety. And then he let's see, what does he do?
Get a fire extinguisher.
He looks inside, and let's see his sanity check. Yep. So you don't know if he understands what's going on or not, but he yells to Lottie, "Step back, young lady."
All right, but she hands the blanket off to him. Here, use this.
And he bravely steps in with the blanket to try to put it out. So you're back there with Ingrid, and this is when you hear you hear the glass shatter, and William cry out in pain. And Ingrid says to you as you're what's going on?
There's a fire! Give me a blanket or something!
Alright, so she's just a little bit slow on the uptake of cause she just seems to be panicked and still a little bit in a haze from before.
Well, it's a small
all
room.
this is happening
Can she
quick.
just grab one?
Yes. You just kind of, I would assume maybe kind of roughly just sort of push past her.
Yeah, she's covering up with one
yeah.
and she just rips it off.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. Yeah, she's got one up around her upper, and you pull it out, and she immediately covers herself up and just ducks back in and looks, to see if anybody saw. So you've got the blanket now. William, you haven't passed out yet. What are you going to do? And you do need to take the hit points. That's your red bubble.
Okay, I'll see a look.
7.
Okay, he is going to try to get out of there as fast as possible.
Okay. Dexterity or strength to flip the door open quick and get out. Okay. So you're gonna get through, but not before it tries to burn you a second time.
My rolls have been stellar.
But you can try to dodge this time because you're aware. So go ahead and dodge. Ooh, a hard against the hard. You just made it. So yeah, it's kind of, again, barreling around in this close compartment, and you're down on the floor now, having just ducked from it going over your head, and you're reaching up and fumbling with the with the handle to pull the door aside, and it tries to to get you again, and you get it open just in time to roll out into the hall as it shoots past, sort of inside here from left to right.
Yeah.
And Rodney is getting burned again, maybe. Oof. He's got to try to
Poor
dodge
Rodney.
this time. He does not. Well, he takes the heat. And now he's got to roll to see if he passes. He starts to pass out. Yeah. Okay. So this guy tries to throw the the cloth on the fire. Doesn't seem quite to understand what's going on entirely. But let's see. Yeah, he misses. He's throwing it into this flame that keeps moving around. What are you doing, Maxine and Lottie, now? Maxine, you have the blanket. Lottie, you've handed the towel. Maxine, you have the towel. You've handed the blanket to the conductor. He's trying to smother the flames with it very unsuccessfully. What are you doing, Lottie and Maxine?
You go first, Lottie.
As William rolls out into the hall right at your feet, Lottie.
Lottie is going to... She's not sure what to do, but she's going to try and get to the water closet and eventually come back with some water or something just to try and throw fires. She doesn't know what to
do it.
So that is a jump or a dexterity. If you opt for the jump, you'll get much further if you succeed. But if you want it, your dexterity is probably safer. If you succeed with a dexterity, you'll get by without incident, but you won't get in. You won't be as quick with the actions as possible. So it's up to you if you want to risk the jump or because he's right in the way now at your feet.
Up the dex, just attempting to get over as safely as possible.
Okay.
Hard pass.
Very good. So you get past William, and you get to the door of the bathroom and pull that open and start to go inside. What about Maxine?
Yeah, was headed the opposite way. She's headed to the other water closet with this blanket, and she'll turn on the sink. And if the toilet's easier,
no, there's no sink. There's just a little bowl of water in there.
She's gonna just shove the blanket in it.
Okay, and of course there's a toilet, which is just a latrine. Okay, so you get in there. What would you like to do for quickness on that? I mean,
Dex, I guess. What's the options? Is that good? If you're speaking, I can't hear you. His computer crashed. Alright, let's pause.
Oh, shoot.
I'm gonna pause my recording.
but it was sudden. Just got a blue screen. And then it powered up.
I had that like last week, I think, before game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, glad you're back.
Yeah, me too.
Leave us in suspense.
Yeah. Matt,
Right.
I rolled Dex to get in there and shoved the blanket into the water.
Okay, good. So you made it. Excellent. So I'm not going to be recording anymore. There's no point. You guys have a backup. Okay. So, Yeah, so you get the towels, or yeah, the towels very quickly soaked, and yeah, I have to start the sounds up again. I hope that's not what crashed it. I just don't know. I mean,
The Sirenscape, yeah.
I need a new computer. it's starting to show its age. All right, so so you're in there. William, you have rolled out into the hall. What is your next move here?
I think William is he's so scared and mind shattered. He's trying to get down the hall. I think this way, if he can start to crawl or try to get up and run that direction.
Yep. Sure. Make a Constitution roll for me again. Like you're starting to get light in the head. Like you can feel yourself. You're getting confused. All right. So your thinking is cogent enough. You crawl down the hall before passing out down here.
Yeah.
So you at least managed to get out of the way. This thing is going to go after the conductor. The conductor, let's see. Ooh, he is very well, this conductor, he's very well aware. He doesn't get out of the way, but you hear him saying, "Good gracious," and step out of the, and step back. And he even says, "It's as if the fire's alive. Ridiculous." He doesn't seem all that fazed by it, though. He just seems irritated. He hasn't even dropped his monocle out of his eye. He still managed to hold. He still managed to hold that in place. And he makes his con roll, and he yells back, "You'll have to do better than that." Okay, so Lottie, you're going to try to get water as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, like a bucket or something, just try to fill up what she can.
Okay, so you can, if you want to dunk it in there, I should have made you roll luck checks to see how much water is left in there in the middle of the night. Lottie, make a luck check.
What is this?
There is some water in there, but it's not as much as you'd like it to be. You can dampen the towel, but
She doesn't have a towel anymore. She's just trying to find like a bucket or something. If there is one in here.
You're trying to find what? A bucket?
There's a basin. Is that what you're saying? Like a little portable basin?
It's a basin. So you can just pick up the basin if you want. It has some water in it.
She'll do that. With a bit of a frown, but she knows she has to hurry back and try to put this thing out.
All right, so you, let's see. You and Maxine probably step out about the same time. And Ingrid has thrown a shirt over herself, sort of. It's on backwards, but it doesn't seem to. She rushes out and says, "Oh, William, are you all right?" And you're just in the process of passing out. So if you want to say one thing to her, you can.
Fire. That's what he gets out before.
Yeah. All right. So Maxine and Lottie, what are you doing?
If you want to go ahead, Maxine.
Yeah, she's gonna.
Yeah, your shirt's on backwards. That would have been classy.
If she's done dunking the blanket, She's gonna run over here because she knows that some Rodney's in there, is what she's been told anyway. So.
Okay. So the conductor is in the way. So how do you want to deal with him? He has stepped back away from the fire a little bit at this moment. Like when you come out, he's just recoiling from the fire, and he's looking at his arm where he got burned.
She's gonna say, "Step to the side. I got a wet blanket here." And if he doesn't move, she'll kind of hip check him out of the way, or try to squeeze through.
Go ahead and make your intimidate check.
Intimidate.
That's really what this is. Yeah, you know, it's like a, yeah. So you can hip check him. So just make a strength check.
How about hand to hand? She's good at it.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You can do that too.
I'm looking for it. Oh. She knocks him down the hall.
Damn.
Well, no,
those are some
I was
hits.
actually interpreting an extreme as you got exactly, yeah, you do it with as much finesse as you could possibly have. So what exactly do you want to do?
Yeah, she just kind of basically he looks at her, and before he can really stop her, kind of squeezes through and has this wet blanket kind of out in front of her, halfway over her head, looking for Rodney. She hasn't seen any fire creatures, but Lottie said something about it being unnatural, so she's got her head on a swivel.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, so you get your first look at this thing, so you can go ahead and make your sanity check. It is, look, when you come in, it's about to burn itself into Rodney, like it is hovering over him. Okay, so you don't lose any sanity. I'd say you're kind of galvanized to action at this point, so you can do what you want to do. You know you have like a split second before this thing is gonna try to burn Rodney again.
Yeah, I think she's gonna try to grab Rodney and pull him out. She's kind of got this blanket shielding her, and she's gonna kind of try to shield him from the flame with it. I think that kind of works. I think that the firemen tell you to do that. So.
All right, so go ahead. You can do an unarmed attack or a strength check. Either one of those is fine.
Yeah, no, not. Mm-mm. We can't spend luck on.
No,
combat,
I mean,
so.
well, it's actually not combat. This is really more of a using your skill to grab somebody to get them. This is not a fight, so I would allow the use of luck there if you want to, or you can even push it.
Yeah.
If you push and fail, you run the risk of getting burned as well.
You know what? I think I'll just push it. I think that's more Max's style, is action.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes! Oh my gosh, do you see those two rolls? It was 62 and 64, and then 62 and 61. Oh my gosh.
Yep. So you grab Rodney and pull on him. So I'm going to give him a bonus die on his dodge as this thing tries to burn him. Oh, man, let's hope for a good roll for him.
Oh.
No. Unfortunate. So you pull him out. You pull him out, but he gives a screech as you do, and he got horribly singed as you drag him out.
Rodney.
Lottie, what do? You see Maxine do this.
And he's not on fire, correct?
He's not on fire. But but even you can see, even with that quick glance, that he has suffered like 3rd-degree burns. He's in terrible shape.
I don't think
He's been in there with this thing for, half a minute or so, getting burned up.
I think Lottie's going to step out into the hall, and she's not going to go up. She's not going to attempt to fight this fire. Though all of their stuff is kind of in both these rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff means less than her life, so she's just going to wait for people to kind of retreat, and if need be, throw water at whatever comes out, because she knows it's highly unnatural.
Yeah. Okay. Maxine, what do you do? The conductor's going to make another attempt to throw his blanket over, the thing you gave him. Sorry, the blanket over it. It does not work, and this thing, counters, and he again gets singed, but not too badly. He steps back. What are you doing, Maxine?
It's all happening really fast. I think that she's
Yes.
gonna kind of walk up in front and see if smacking it with the blanket is gonna hurt it. Kind of shouts behind it, "We need water! People, get water! Find a fire extinguisher!" Some of those giant... Do they have those giant ashtrays on this train? Like tubs of sand or something like they used to have when I was a kid.
Yeah, actually, they do at the end of the hall here.
Okay, she's gonna keep that in mind. Maybe that's sand, and she'll take a smack at it.
Okay, go ahead. It's going to. You're running the risk, of course. Oh no, it burns you. Make a con check.
Jeez.
Oh, you take 8.
Oh, that's more than half of mine. So I need to make another con check to see if I pass out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're gonna start to. Nope, you're hanging in there.
Okay. Well, she's not gonna stick around for more of that.
And he's now backing away, and at that point, this blue one smashes into the window. Oh man, these things are having a good night. It smashes right through the glass, and could potentially hurt him. Yeah, he gets burned yet again.
But he's still standing.
He's still standing.
Is it possible for Lottie, as that creature comes out and smashes into the conductor, for her to throw the water on it?
Yes.
Cool. So she's going to try unarmed.
Well, that's a throw. This is a throw attack. So you can do
Alright.
rock thrown, which is the same. It just uses your throw skill.
I'm so good at it.
So you splash some water. I mean, so it's not like you completely miss it, but it's ineffective. You didn't hit it square with the water, and there wasn't much in there to begin with. You do see it does cause a little bit of steam to form in the air around it, though.
Shit.
And he staggers back a bit as this comes out, and you see it turn, Lottie, and look straight at you with its little blue burning eyes.
Lottie
And
is
you sense
shook.
great antipathy towards you. Like it's just the animosity is, you can feel it in the air and then see it in just the way its strange head, if it has a head, it's not really, it's it's more like flickering, changing form with two eyes that stay centered, but it's staring you down. And Ingrid now gets a look at this, and she says, "Good God," or she probably says, "Gott in Himmel." And instinctively steps back. And then looks down at William and grabs him to start pulling him. What do you do, Maxine?
She's tossing this blanket over her head like a, I don't know, just like a protective shield, and she's headed this way. I mean, she's going to get as far as she can toward that sand.
Okay, so you're going to pass Ingrid, who's pulling William along the floor rather hurriedly, trying to get him down to the end of the car to safety, because he is now passed out. And Lottie, what are you doing?
She'll also say, "Lottie, this way, help me with this."
Yeah, Lottie, she sees Rodney on the ground, but she knows she is not strong enough to pull him, unfortunately. Lottie, very sadly, just turns on a heel and runs immediately down the hall to assist Maxine.
Okay, so you two are running down the hall. Maxine in the lead. Maxine, you get to the sand, the cigarette sand, whatever those are called. They're not really trays, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm, barrels.
I know what you meant. Yeah. So you get there, and Lottie, you're running along behind her, and this blue thing darts down the hall at you. Almost as fast as you, actually almost a little faster. I'm going to need you to make a dexterity.
Both of us, or just Lottie?
Just Lottie. You were already ahead, so you get to there. Lottie, you're able to outrun it. This ignores Ingrid and William. William's on the floor, but Ingrid flattens herself up against the wall here as it streaks by, and she gasps. It's bearing down on Lottie. Maxine, you can try to pick this tray up, and I assume you're going to toss it. Go ahead and you can try to do that with a throw. Or you can aim and get a bonus die next time, but it will get a shot at Lottie if you do that.
Yeah. I'm not good at throwing.
I don't think any of us are.
I think I'm gonna aim. It probably won't do any good, but sorry if you get hurt, Lottie. I don't know what else to do.
So Lottie, I assume you are going to dodge.
Oh yeah, she's definitely dodging.
Streaks at you. All right, go ahead and dodge.
Oh, get fucked.
It barely misses you, because you win ties on dodges. So it streaks past you. How do you get out of the way?
So she's running in the hall, and it's chasing after her, and as it's about to hit her, Lottie does a tuck and roll on the ground and rolls slightly to the side as it just dives overhead and almost ending up over here.
Yeah, so it almost smashes into the steel of the car over here. You're aiming, Maxine, so you actually kind of notice when it smashes into the steel, it doesn't seem like it can push through the steel. It just it flattens and almost dissipates for a moment before reforming when it hits into the steel. And then you have aimed, and you may throw with the bonus die now.
Do I get another bonus for being so close?
You're at point blank range now, and it is not coming at you. So, yes, you get 2 bonus dice.
Oh, I needed it too.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna let you do a die 3, or actually a die 4. This is a big sand thing, so you can do a die 4.
No.
Oh. Your aim is, there's just, I guess what we're gonna say is there's just not that much sand in there. Your aim was good, but there's just not enough sand in this one. So Lottie, what do you do now?
I think Lottie knows what to do. It is going to be difficult, but it's just going to keep pursuing her, I think. Lottie is going to attempt to basically feint it. She is going to run. Are these doors open?
These are sliding doors that you can open to the outside, yes.
Okay, so Lottie's plan is to basically run out here, throw the door open, not jump out, but curve around the side and try to force it to jump out.
So you're going to try to do
train.
like a heroic...
Yeah, like a grab on,
windmill
the
around to the outside. Okay.
Yeah. So she'll probably go this the other way though, not to the. So she'll go this way.
Yeah,
safer.
that makes sense. All right. Well, let's see how this works. So what do you think makes sense?
I know Dex definitely makes sense for this.
So yes, Dex to I would allow that Dex to slip out and around. Then I'm gonna force you to have to do a strength check to hold on because you're on a moving train as you flip around. But certainly to get out before you're really in any risky. So go ahead.
All right, we'll try the Dex check first. Oh, save me.
You may push it.
I'm pushing it.
Push it.
If you push and fail, you will go sailing out and completely miss and
Be
hit
in the
and
jungle.
go. Basically be out here off the.
I gotta
rolling
do
thing.
it. I gotta push it. I gotta do this. Barely.
Okay, so yes, you spin around. You're probably more like there. You get through. This thing is pursuing you, and you succeeded. So let's see. So make a strength check now. If you succeed at the strength check, then you are holding on strongly enough that this thing doesn't even have a chance to hit you. If you fail the check, then it means you're sort of flailing around a little bit, and you're vulnerable as it darts out at you.
All right, pray for me. Can I spend 5 luck?
Yes, you can. All right. So what happens is it darts at you, and just like you wanted, it darts itself outside and right past you. You can feel the rush of heat as it slips past you. And I assume your intent then is to roll back inside quickly.
Yeah, so basically just hand holding onto this and kind of spreading herself out. So one hand is kind of around here, the other's on the door. So her knuckles getting a bit singed as this thing just careens out. And she immediately catapults herself back inside, kind of prone, lying on the floor, huffing and puffing as she does so.
And make a luck check to see if the door closes automatically by itself. There's a good chance it will.
Yes!
It does. All right, so you swing in and the door slams shut behind you as you come in.
I'd say if possible, the extreme. She lands on her feet and just gets right back to
Yes.
right back in, looks over at Maxine. What are we gonna do about the other one?
You can see the conductor is still battling the other one down here, and he is no doubt losing. But
Max looks at Lottie with just like sheer admiration and points to the next car. Dining car. You know there's water in there.
Right. And
yes. So I'm gonna. You can see he's fighting a losing battle here, but he keeps going back in, and damn if he doesn't still have that monocle in his eye as he bravely battles this flame. Ingrid has recovered herself as well, and in the meantime of all that, well, actually, she's just dragged William into her compartment. Because all the danger is suddenly down here. So she drags him in there, and she's coming out, and she says, "What should we do?"
like Maxine said, there's water in the other car compartment. We need to grab it or do something.
Okay. You certainly can. That's the dining car.
Actually, Lottie looks to Maxine and Ingrid. Better idea. All right, I'm gonna see if I can lead it back. A bit different. Maybe we can get it into the other car. We just gotta be fast about it.
What other car?
The one over here.
Oh,
She
yeah.
points over to the dining car.
Hey, big, hot, and ugly. This way.
It is trying to smash its way in through this door, and it's not going to be easy. The window on the door is just a small. It's dealing with steel, so it's not going to have an easy time of it. Oh, but it is making progress.
Oh no.
The glass on the window has shattered, and you can see that it's starting to kind of basically squeeze itself through the window. So you have time to do what you want to do, but you know it's going to get through.
Yeah, headed this way looking for water. I don't know where we're gonna find
All
it,
right.
but there's gonna be water there. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So you know those are the tables, and then the kitchen's over here. That's really what you haven't even gone, farther ahead in the train, so you don't know what lies beyond. Well, actually, you would know that that's the second class car next.
Ah, the second class car. That's an idea.
So Lottie, what are you doing?
Lottie, I don't know if she's going to be able to do this, because she expected that thing to just get sucked away kind of by, because they're moving, but apparently not.
But this thing, yes, this thing seems to be able to dart around. It's so I think a fair thing to say would be that it initially did, kind of it did go back a little bit, but then it darts. You guys are quickly discussing what to do, and you see it dart back and smash into the window.
Lottie, she's not sure if they should jump off this train or not, because, oh my god. But she's going to attempt to run down here and get its attention.
Okay. When you run down, Ingrid just kind of, she doesn't know what's going on, so she's just looking at you, questioning you, but you're preoccupied, and it is slipping through. Okay, and we'll deal with Maxine after we kind of see what happens here. So we won't quite know if Maxine can come through or not. So you where do you want to be? You can make it, that same distance further down if you want. By the time it slips through, it's got a filter all the way through.
Yeah, Yeah, Lottie's plan, I think, because she was going to go back, but she's got to keep going this way.
Okay.
But yeah, she's going to run by the conductor, and she looks to him if he's still up, and is like, follow me.
He's... Yeah, you pull him along with you. He looks weak and disoriented now. He's still flailing around with the blanket, but you pull him along with you. So are you trying to go all the way down to the other end?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we can do the same thing. Probably not, but oh crap.
And this steps out. It steps. It darts out, and this one is now barreling down the hall, intent on you, Lottie. You have no doubt of it. Ingrid jumps back into her compartment. And Lottie, you see there's another one of the cigarette barrels there at this end of the car as well.
She looks to the conductor and just says, "Just when they come, just throw it on them."
Let's see if he's like barely functioning. He looks at you a little confused, and he's the blanket he was holding is now basically a burned, like there's burned remains of cloth in his hand. Like, it's so ineffective it couldn't possibly do anything now. You're not sure he's gonna try to do it or not, because he just doesn't even look like he's quite coherent. And again, someone stuck their head out there's all kind of pandemonium, people screaming and sticking their head out and then slamming, going back in and slamming. Like there's a lot of fear and chaos in the other compartments right now. So you're there, and what is your plan here, Lottie?
Oh god, I don't even know what Lottie's plan is at this point. She's just panicked. Fire's not great. I think she might attempt to do the same thing. Try to bait him. Because she can't lift that. I don't think she can lift that pot. Unless it's like a small one, but she is not strong.
You certainly can lift it. It's not so heavy that you couldn't lift. It just might be a little awkward.
Alright, she's going to attempt to toss it at them when they start coming down the hallway. Just trying to weaken them a little bit.
Okay. Well, they both do, in a sense, join forces and dart down at you. So if you hit, you'll hit both of them. Their fires are commingled at this point.
Fuck.
So you have had time to aim, and if you're willing, you can wait to the last minute and get another bonus die.
No, I am not willing to wait till the last minute.
Okay. Then you get one bonus die on your throw, so that you can just do rock thrown. Oh, yeah. So that you throw it. It's not terrible, but it's not effective. It doesn't hit them square enough. But you did it soon enough that you now have time to do a quick reaction. So what are you going to try to do? The same kind of thing?
Yeah, I gotta dive out. Is this like the end of the train?
Yes, that's the very end of the train. You're the last car.
This might be goodbye Lottie depending, but she's gonna do the same thing. Slide open the door and kind of hang out from it.
Okay.
Gotta do it. I'm stuck.
All right, make your dexterity.
Oh my god!
Are you willing to push it again?
Yes. I hope. Yay!
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
just barely.
All right, put yourself where you are then.
Hanging on to those end pieces.
All right, and you can try your strength also.
Fuck. No.
You can push, or you can just accept the fact that it might hit you.
I'm gonna accept the fact that it's gonna hit.
All right, so let's see. As it slips by, You can try a dodge, but that's against an extreme. This thing wants you bad.
Nope.
Yeah. You take 5, but you can do a Constitution check to take only 2.
It's
No,
5.
you take 5, but it does slip by, and you can roll back inside, and you can see this thing is got it in for the conductor. It's going after the conductor.
It's more than half my HP.
So you need to make a con.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Good.
So
Two
you
rolls.
get back inside. Yeah, you're still conscious. Your adrenaline's going hard. You see the conductor make his final scream, and this thing just smothers him in flame. There's no way he's going to survive that. You can hear his skin sizzling and popping. And in fact, I need you to make a sanity check. You're going to lose 1 sanity from that.
He's absolutely horrified by all of this.
So what are you going to do? This thing is momentarily distracted, if you will.
Oh, God, I think Lottie's, oh goodness, just gonna have to book it and just run towards Maxine.
Okay. All right, you do. All right, let's go to Maxine. So you're in here, and
I had a chance to think about it, and she'd be going for the kitchen. If there's a fire extinguisher anywhere on the train, it's going to be in the kitchen. So that's where she's headed.
Thinking. So what you need? So I need a luck check from you to see if they have a fire extinguisher. They're not that common in the colony.
Yes! Yes!
As a matter of fact, there is a fire extinguisher right inside here around the door. There are 2 people sleeping in here. The cook and the waiter. They have little mats that they're sleeping on in the kitchen, and they drowsily wake up as you slam the door. At least the woman does, as you slam the door open and immediately see the fire extinguisher.
And she grabs it and says, "Chibuza, there's a fire!" and heads back out.
Okay. You've got it.
And then she's
and
headed back that way.
As you head back, you can feel that it is quite full. So your extreme tells me your extreme luck is it's not only there, it's also been well maintained and is topped off and ready to go. So that was very lucky.
Yes.
And Lottie is rushing back at the same time. So the 2 of you can see each other running toward each other through the windows on these connecting doors.
Max is going to gesture Lottie through. She wants this thing to have as narrow a place to fit through as possible, so she can just spray down that whole area.
Lottie will run inside.
This thing has smashed the window already at the back of the train, and by the time you get down there, Lottie, it has already filtered back into the compartment.
She's going to dive through the door. Pull up to the other side. All right, they're coming.
She says, "I found this." And she just kind of crouches, looks through the door, waits. She's going to aim for as long as she can once she sees one coming.
Yeah, you can't get more than 1 aim, but you do get to aim, and if you wait to the last minute, you'll get 2 bonus. And this is not throw. This is going to be, you could use any weapon
Firearm.
skill you want, really. Yeah.
Firearm or unarmed are her best ones. Can she use either one?
Not unarmed.
Okay, I'll do
That doesn't really make sense. Yeah.
Luger then.
Anti-firearms, yes.
I'm
All right.
I'm gonna wait till the last minute.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, and so you spray and let out this great spray at it. So you get to do a die 6 with the fire extinguisher.
Roll it.
Yes! Yes!
Oh my. The fire extinguisher, you catch both of them like right in the middle. It the spray of it goes right through the first one and in through the second one, and they immediately start to dissipate and start roiling around like a fire gone out of control. And you can sense immediately that you have the upper hand, and they start to spin around and move around, and you can see they're starting to retreat through the smashed, like in this direction, actually down the hall.
Yeah, she's just gonna keep spraying towards them, and giving them
Yeah.
and either kill them or encouragement to get out.
Yeah. So eventually, so you, I can see Mac here. She's spraying and continuously at them these long spurts of chemical, and you're wearing them down. You're clearly destroying them in pieces as you go, and they're just helpless at this point. They just keep retreating, and you keep advancing and spraying, and eventually by the time you get about halfway down, the blue one is gone completely, and the orange one is almost gone. And Ingrid is just watching you aghast, like she's got the door open and she's backed away a little, but the flame passes by as you triumphantly step by and finish it off.
Yeah, after that she's starts Lottie check on William, and she's gonna try to put out the fire that's in their cabin.
Duck in and immediately start trying to tend to William.
Max takes a look down as she's doing this at Rodney, fearing the worst. 3rd-degree burns is pretty hard to recover from in 1925.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so yeah, you look at Rodney, you can't imagine he's alive. He's so badly burned. Parts of his in fact, he's on his back, and his face is just blackened.
She kind of takes that wet blanket and pauses to cover him and pull his body a little bit out of the way, and then tries to put that fire out.
Yeah, you can. Make a luck check just to see how bad the fire got out of control in there. Okay, so it really wasn't, it didn't catch too much. So you managed to get the fire out pretty quickly. It has burned up some of your papers and things, but really not much. And the fire was never long enough in William's room to really do any damage to your stuff.
So, yeah. I guess eventually we get it put out. Max wants to go through her stuff and see what's destroyed, but she knows that's a little heartless. Instead, she goes over to find Ingrid.
Yeah.
I don't think Rodney made it.
And you see Chibuzo. Yes, it is. You see Chibuzo look at Rodney, and he says, "Good gods,
I don't know what happened. Is it possible the train was attacked?
And Lottie looks up from kneeling down beside William. It was attacked by something. That's for sure. William? She leans down, pats his cheek. Are you alright?
You can try a first aid to see if you wake him up.
Rub some dirt in it. That's what I do.
Some whiskey, that might work. Oh?
Yeah. William, you wake up and you can heal 1 die 3 of hit points from the first aid. I know
Is Lottie rolling that?
That's generous, but that's what I'm gonna. I don't think that's canon by the rules, but I think if you succeed with a hard success, you actually do some good. Yeah. The wounds are not quite as bad as they seemed.
Yeah, speaking of wounds, Max, now that she's calming down, she looks down at her hands and she sees that they're just, burned 2nd degree in some places. Her shirt burned up to the elbows. She starts to shake a little bit.
And Ingrid looks at you and sees what you're seeing, and she says, "Oh my God!" And she comes out, and you can see she wants to grab you, but stops herself. She doesn't want to make it worse. And she says, "You have to get to a doctor."
Yeah, is there a doctor on the train?
Ingrid starts yelling, "Is there a doctor? Is there a doctor?" Let's see if there is. There might be. Maxine, your luck check.
No.
Nope, there's no doctor.
That's all right. I think that was her 3rd or 4th luck check, and
The important ones came through.
right. Yeah, she just says, "Get me some water."
He says, yes, and he says, I must go and tell the captain.
The conductor, she kind of points back to the other side. He died fighting the fire.
Actually, you didn't. Maxine doesn't know that.
Oh, she doesn't know that. She knows he
Yeah.
was, but she knows what direction he went. She says,
Yeah,
"I saw
yeah.
him that way."
Wouldn't know if I'd go down there. You didn't make it out of it.
He says, I'll get some water and towels, and he rushes out.
You alright, William? You okay?
William is, just waking up. He wakes up to see Lottie there, and he places a hand on her cheek at first. A blue fire.
Oh,
I saw blue fire.
Yeah, there was some sort of a creature, William. They're gone now.
You hear Ingrid suddenly take an intake of breath and rush over to Rodney. All her attention had been on Maxine, and she suddenly sees him, and she just rushes over. And as she gets to him, you hear her just wail and collapse to her knees.
Yeah, Max will look over at Lottie and
Rodney.
William. I got this. And she walks over and kind of kneels down by Ingrid, puts one hand very gingerly on her shoulder. I'm so sorry. I tried to get him out.
And she's just muttering something in German that you don't understand what she's saying, but it's clear it's some kind of regretful, frustrated, distraught something. And people are starting to now that things have quieted down, people are starting to peek out or even come out of their compartments, and they're gawking and asking what's going on. And the corridor is starting to fill up a little bit with people in their nightgowns and coats.
So Max is going to try to implant the suggestion that the train was attacked, like terrorists, like natives or something, so that you start kind of mentioning it. Could it have been this? Could it have been this? And then suddenly everybody on the train is saying, "Oh yeah, I think I saw something out my window."
Yeah.
Can I make a fast talk roll to see if
You sure can. That sounds perfect. Okay. Yes, you successfully, while Ingrid is grieving over Rodney, you are doing damage control on the crowd and very successfully implanting the suggestion and corroborating and picking up on little things people said. Clearly somebody, a woman down this way, indicates that she saw a blue fire like flying along outside the train. Do you have any idea of how you might roll that into the story, or do you just ignore it?
like some sort of Molotov cocktail, like flying through the air toward the train, like little fire bombs. Something with a really hot accelerant that burns blue.
Yeah, yes. One of the kind of upper class people actually tries to sound super intelligent. Says yes, that they've heard that flame at a certain point can turn a bluish tinge. And seems very proud of himself for contributing that piece of data.
William's going to be like looking at her, kind of a look on his face, like, is she trying? Is she trying to tell these people lies, or because I don't think he's up with what she's trying to do yet, because he knows what he saw.
Right. So make an intelligence check. See if you pick up on that. I think that's fair. Oh yes, I think you very quickly, and doesn't shock me that William, in the profession he comes from, would
Right.
pretty quickly spot somebody going, oh yes, she is definitely doing spin control here.
Yeah. And as he notices that, the realization sets in. He turns to Lottie and says, someone must have sent those things after us.
I think so. They definitely know we're on the train. I mean, just from that small boy being there. And those flames were definitely meant for us. Poor Rodney. He didn't deserve that.
Maxine has it takes a few minutes. Chibuzo comes back with some towels and water, and helps, right? And he goes and tends to the conductor, and people are already gathered around the conductor, and very ineffectively seeing if they can do anything for him. Like he's just badly burned. So there's just a very confused scene here. But Maxine, you have utterly planted the whole suggestion. The whole car is, even the woman with the blue, she's agreeing now it could have been, a bottle being thrown at the train. She didn't get a really good look at it. And she's actually the only one that saw that. I mean, other people saw flames in the hallway and that sort of thing. And
What else?
But
What else
the general,
explains the broken windows?
yeah, exactly. And there's a question: did anybody see anybody come on board, or did they just throw things into the train as it was flying by?
I think
know?
Max, once she's satisfied that this story is taken hold, realistically, the pain of being burned would just be crazy bad.
Oh yeah,
she's
so
gonna look
awful.
for cold towels, and she's gonna start asking around if anybody's got any laudanum or anything good, because it's starting. The adrenaline's worn off, and it's starting to really hurt.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yes, somebody certainly has some that they can give you, and I would say Ingrid. Ingrid takes you into this cabin to kind of take care of you. Like you are getting lightheaded and in real pain. So I would say that the laudanum's going to start kicking in, and that's around the time when a British soldier and captain have made their way back into the car to see what's going on. Being led there by the cook, and so they start to ask questions about what happened and try to figure out all that, and that's gonna happen over the course of over an hour. So we'll just compress that. I mean, they have to deal with the 2 dead bodies. They're certainly going to question William and Lottie just like they do everybody, but they don't seem to single you out. Maxine has done a good job of just sort of creating the impression of, we all just saw this stuff and it was crazy and no one really got a good look at everything. But what do you tell the captain?
I will tell them that I saw some fire flying from the outside and hit the window as it came in.
And
most of it had exploded in the window.
Yeah, and of course he wants to make sure you and Lottie and Maxine, I mean, you've all been burned. So, they're doing what they can to wrap up. They have some bandages that they bring and bind you up a little bit, but there's not a lot they can do at this point. And he says,
Right.
they'll get you to the hospital as soon as they get to Nairobi. Lottie, do you have a statement, or are you going to be passed out, or what?
I think Lottie is just want to agree that she saw multiple kind of flames being thrown towards the train, breaking the windows and such as they came by to kind of explain away the shattered glass and whatnot. But she just says, "Hey, you're sleeping," and all of a sudden, just everything seemed to be engulfed in flame, and there was lots of screaming and breaking of glass, and I'm sure people were throwing things towards the train or something like that, because there's just more and more breaking glass. It was absolutely terrifying.
He said, and of course he asked everyone, did you get a look at anyone who threw these?
It's
Did
too
you
dark.
tell anything about them?
It's just too dark out there. We're moving too fast. I don't know. Does this happen often? Is this something that you expect?
He says, well, this is a new tactic. He says,
A new tactic? What do you mean?
he says they don't usually. He says the natives don't usually resort to such methods. Hurling bottles of fire at a moving train is unheard of.
What do they usually
Attacking
do then?
science.
Spears, arrows. And he says just to vent their anger, usually very little comes of it. He says this will require a very serious investigation. And he's also very specifically interested if anybody happened to note the exact time when this happened, to give them a good idea, or how long ago it happened, to give them an idea so they can later figure out where exactly along their route this attack happened.
I think William will be too consumed in the pain, maybe rocking back and forth. He'll be very vague with the answers, and probably leave it to Lottie to fill in any other information.
Okay.
She'll try her best to remember.
You're in serious pain too, Lottie.
Yeah.
I mean, you have been badly burned as well.
I can't remember right now. I'm so sorry. I wish I could. I just need something for the pain.
I understand, miss. He says we can always take statements later. And Ingrid just explains on behalf of Maxine, as Maxine is sort of a little delusional and high at this point, that she's taken medication for the pain.
It was fire monsters.
Ingrid and the captain just sort of looks at Ingrid sympathetically.
I tried to kill him.
Yes,
but they killed the conductor. The poor conductor. He was so brave.
He says, "You'll be fine, ma'am. It's all safe now. You're all right. You can't be harmed any further. I suggest you get some rest. You'll feel better in the morning." And his subordinate says, "Actually, I suspect she'll probably feel even worse in the morning."
Yeah, that's what I was
Burns,
thinking.
and the captain says, it just glares at him and says, "You'll feel better in the morning, miss," and moves along. So, all right, yeah, things die down a little bit. They take Rodney, unfortunately. They take him and the conductor and put them in the dining car, and the dining car is now off limits to anyone except them, of course. And Chibuzo and the cook assist, helping them clean up a little bit of it just for safety. And it's now like, by the time that things die down, it's after 4 a.m. I'm gonna assume Maxine has probably passed out. Lottie, the pain is now becoming terrible, and for William as well. How do you guys pass the rest of the night?
Yeah, I think Maxine is definitely, if she can possibly pass herself out, she will. Being burned hurts. Just too bad. And, she'll tell Ingrid, check on Lottie and William. I'm going to sleep this off.
And she says, "I'll check on them, but I'm not leaving you."
I think Lottie is going to consume quite a copious amount of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
William will probably do that with her as well. Maybe sit in there with a bowl of water.
Yeah.
And as much as, because I remember burning my hand before, and I just...
Oh, it is unbelievably painful. Yeah,
awful.
there are few things more painful than a bad burn. Yeah.
I think while Max is high and before she passes out, she kind of weakly grabs at Ingrid and tells her, when we get to Nairobi, we gotta talk about that mountain of the Black Wind.
She says, don't worry about that right now. We'll talk about it. But you need your rest. So if you guys have no objection, I am going to fast forward a bit and just summarize, because none of you are in any shape to do anything really. So I would say you arrive in Nairobi station in the morning on schedule, and a truck ambulance shows up to take you to Nairobi Hospital, and you're all laid up there, right? So that seems like a reasonable development.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Take us to where the good drugs are.
Yeah. Um,
I do think that, you know, while they're in the hospital, Max is extremely paranoid about fire. Like, she keeps bugging the nurses about where the fire extinguishers are. Uh, Bring one. I
mm-hmm.
want one in my room. What if there's a
Yeah.
fire? How many fire? You know, really frantically. Like, when she's conscious, that's what she's thinking about.
Yes. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that was a bit traumatic, I would say. And William, you gain I think is it a straight up 5 or is it a dice 6 Cthulhu Mythos points for your first Mythos experience? I don't remember offhand. So I'll look that up later. But you've just learned something.
Yeah. Nice. He is totally blown away too about that. That's his first time seeing anything supernatural.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was real.
And so far he hasn't talked about it or mentioned it at all. Um, almost trying to pretend that it didn't happen. But if Maxine brings it up around him, he is going to talk to her about it.
You know, that certainly won't happen in the first few days. I mean, you are burn victims. You are, you're wrapped up. You're gauzed. It's at least a week before any of you really are put together again in any way. Recovery is slow.
Probably nightmares too, yeah. Nightmares
Yeah.
of the fire.
So yes, if you want to summarize, I'm going to just make a blanket statement and say the 3 of you are in the hospital for 3 weeks before you're really going to be released. Like it
Okay.
burn recovery is slow.
Huh? Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So, any summary about that, or anyone have anything? There is one thing that happens partway through. There's a telegram arrives for William, and it's apparently been waiting for him since you arrived, but it's in the confusion of all, it's only kind of just gotten to you. So I can show you that telegram. Oh, shoot. I didn't upload it yet. Let me do that.
Okay. I would think maybe the conversation would probably be trying to I would say, to summarize, William would mention, them being paranoid, watching each other's backs. They've obviously tried to hunt them on the train. They're probably not going to stop hunting them. And they probably know that they're at the hospital now,
Mm-hmm.
especially them being there for 3 weeks. So they would probably be pretty paranoid about it. Keep his gun close.
Yep.
and nightmares and stuff like that. So that conversation would probably happen about who's hunting him. William suspects that it's the guy from Egypt still, but,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the only threat he's seen so far, really.
Right.
Does Ingrid visit?
Oh, she's there constantly.
She, I guess the other thing besides being really paranoid about fire extinguishers, Max warns Ingrid to look for this woman, this Indian woman. She might have a young boy with him, and she tries to describe her. She
She's Indian looking, yes, and yeah.
well, if for some reason you see this woman and her boy hanging around the hospital or looking at the hospital,
Okay. Okay, yeah, she takes that seriously. She says, I'll keep my eyes open. She says, she thinks I haven't seen anyone like that, I don't think, but I also haven't been paying attention. She says, there are a lot of Indians around here.
I think this woman was responsible for the fire. The
How,
boy, he wears a necklace. And she describes what it looks like. She doesn't know if Ingrid knows what
mm-hmm.
an Ankh is.
She does. What is the significance of this? Why is that important? An Ankh is a symbol of life.
This one's upside down. It's the opposite.
There's a very, very simple interpretation, but I'm sure you're right. What is the significance? Why would a child wear such a thing then?
Probably because his mother gave it to him. I don't know what the kid knows or how involved he is. I suspect it's the woman. I don't know. You never know with these people.
She says it may not have been her, you understand, Maxine. It was a very traumatizing experience. A child wearing it may not even have much significance. It could have just been a piece of jewelry the child had.
No, Ingrid, that's bullshit. They, they, there's only one group of people that wears that symbol. And they're the people that killed my brother, and now they're the people that killed your friend.
You know these people?
I know some of them. I'm learning about them. I suspect that they're connected. After we was talking, I was thinking about some of the notes we have. Some things started to
Oh
click.
yes, your notes. She says I got everything off of the train, and it's in my hotel room now.
That's good. I think I got my short list in my handbag anyway, but anything that we could salvage, well, that's good. Anyway, the mountain, Ingrid. The mountain you see in your dreams.
Yes. What about it?
In those notes, it's mentioned the mountain of the Black Wind. Here,
Black wind.
northwest of Nairobi.
She nods. Black wind, you say?
Maxine nods back.
That sounds familiar. It sometimes in my dreams there is a kind of dark cloud that spreads out from the mountain. It is very troubling, though in the dream I don't quite understand. It is rather indefinable, but I feel a terrible feeling of dread when I see it.
Yeah, that means you still got some degree of sanity in there then, because anything that has to do with these people, you should be afraid of. It's, you know, what did you see, Ingrid, on the train?
I don't know. It was like a fire that had purpose and intelligence.
I
It
saw eyes in the flame.
perhaps perhaps I saw them too. I thought I was just imagining it, of course. But of course, one does not see flames fly about like that either. What do you think this is? And why would they try to kill you like that?
Well, me and these, I got a beef with them. They killed my brother. They killed some of my friends.
Yes, but why would they try to kill you? Have you threatened them?
Every chance I get.
Maxine, these are very powerful people, obviously. If they can make fire do that, are you sure this is worth it?
Ingrid, making fire is one thing, you know. Making it attack people, well, that's a trick we've had for a long time, although I admit this is different. But getting in people's heads, sending them dreams, luring them to Africa, I think that's even more frightening and worthy of consideration.
She seems very thoughtful about that. Um, she says, I couldn't help but see some of your notes as I tried to salvage what I could. A few were burned, and of course I tried to sort them for you a bit. There's a lot that you have gathered.
Yeah, well,
Should I look at them?
Maxine looks at Ingrid, kind of searching her face, wondering, is this going to be worse for Ingrid? Is she an enemy pretending to be a friend? And then kind of decides that if that's the case, the harm's already done. If you like, I can answer questions that I can answer. I don't have all the answers.
I want to understand what is happening to you and why this war is being waged.
Us, Ingrid. It's happening to us. These people aren't just after me, they're after you. They're just using more insidious means to get to you.
You think they are sending me my dreams?
She kind of tosses her hands up in the air, like in, frustration, and then winces at the pain. Well, do you think it's a coincidence?
I don't know what to think yet.
I don't really know how it's connected either, or why they'd want you here in Africa. Or what they wanted with Rodney, if he was involved in it. But
Don't get yourself
I don't know whether to
excited.
tell you to stick with me or to get as far away as possible. I don't know which is going to be safer.
She says, what kind of friend would I be if I left you when you were in trouble?
That may be a smart one. Maybe one that has a longer life expectancy.
She actually laughs at that and she says, I am not going to leave you. I want answers myself. Do not forget that I have my own puzzle to solve.
I don't doubt that you'll find your answers.
But I won't find it apart from you, I don't think. Somehow they are connected. So, whether you like it or not, you are stuck with me.
She kind of sits back. I remember saying the same thing to somebody else not too long ago. Well then, Ingrid, welcome to the team.
Good. I will read. So she does. She spends a couple of weeks of your convalescence pouring through documents, and she seems quite skilled at that because she comes back with questions every day, and you can tell that she's making very swift progress through the notes and
She may be able to read some things we couldn't. Max will tell Lottie and William that, that Ingrid's seen the notes and that she's reading through them, and I don't know if we want to role play through it, but would want to catch.
I don't need to. Yeah.
Catch them up on what Ingrid has said about her tattoo and the dreams about the mountain and whatnot.
Yep. That would come as a surprise, I'm sure.
Yeah. William would make it known too if she said anything about Ingrid staying with him. To Maxine too, that she knows she no longer has Rodney anymore. So she's gonna want to hang out with her. I don't think he knows of their
I don't think either of us know about that relationship.
Nope.
No. And Ingrid is not doing anything overt, to suggest that either. So the telegram does arrive, William, and you can read that.
William would immediately take it to Maxine.
This must be the telegram that Nasford was forwarding from Egypt.
Yes.
Let's show Lottie.
Lottie is, of course, sitting in her room. And she looks over the telegram. You see her eyebrow raises slightly. Who's P?
P is alive. Who in the notes could be a P?
Oh. You mean no? She thinks back on it. Penhue.
Yeah, that Penhue fella. He was part of the original expedition, wasn't he?
Who's the bloated woman?
That don't make no sense to me. But what's this bottom? Lantern, 46 Lantern Lane, Old City, Shanghai.
Bloat?
This don't make no sense.
I understand. Seems there's, I think he is, maybe he's at 46 Lantern Lane, in Shanghai. But of course, I think this is from Shelly.
It is signed S. All my best. Letter to follow. Maybe that'll, if that ever makes it, maybe that'll shed some light on this.
Let's see. Quite a An important woman bites her tongue.
In Africa, an important woman bites her tongue.
That means we have to keep quiet about some things. Or we have to find someone who's holding back.
Well, something to think about.
So go ahead.
She just kind of taps the telegram at the address. But at least that's something solid.
And at the end of your stay, by the way, so a letter does arrive. It's been forwarded from Cairo to Nairobi for William from Frank Nasford through the embassy. But when you're about to be released, the letter actually filters to you. And I just put it in chat. I'll put it in the game, but I haven't had time to put it in the game yet. So I put it in the Discord chat.
Okay.
Which you can read at your leisure. I think it's a little long for the moment, but it's there.
Oh goodness, it is very long. Whew.
My, that's a worthy lady.
So, you may all restore your hit points to max.
Yay.
And on the calendar, when you are released, it is... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. It is... May 11th, which is a Tuesday.
Anything interesting happening in the newspapers?
Well, you do spot in an older paper story about the train, and that there's still little bits here and there of investigation into who attacked the train. Apparently, the British authorities are very strenuously questioning the tribes around that area. And they assure the public that they will get to the bottom of who did this soon enough. But right now, no specific leads are being reported in the paper. But it did cause a little bit of a stir. There does seem to be a growing concern among the British population of Nairobi that the black natives are getting more violent, and their protests are becoming more concerning.
What's the newspaper called?
The Nairobi Star.
Well, I guess as we're getting ready to leave, Maxine would be kind of coordinating with Ingrid where they were staying once they got released. Hold on just a second. While we're in the hospital, she asks around about Dr. Starrett, if there's a Dr. Starrett at the hospital.
No. In fact, when you ask that question of one of the doctors that's coming to see you, he rather laughs and said, "Oh no, that's the the wrong kind of doctor. He says everyone in Nairobi knows who Dr. Starrett is. He's a missionary.
A missionary. Oh, well, so everybody knows who he is, and he's not a medical doctor?
Oh, well, he says he is, but he doesn't work here at the hospital.
She looks confused. Well, where does he work then?
Oh, at the mission, of course. He has his own mission to the natives. And
Oh.
it's easy enough to find. He can, the Swahili Mission. It's called the Swahili Mission, over in Swahili Town. He says, he says, I wouldn't go there after dark, and if you go there during the day, just, well, be careful. He says, times are changing. Streets aren't quite as safe as they used to be, especially over that way.
She thanks him for the care that she's received and for the information.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys? Are you reading the letter?
Does William know who Penhue is?
Probably a little bit.
Yeah.
From the note.
And because you're also from England, Penhue Foundation's pretty big there. I mean,
Yeah, you may know the Penhue Foundation, William. Why don't you make an education roll for me?
An education roll.
Or I mean, let's see. I mean, anthropology would work too, but oh, sorry. So, yeah, you got a hard success. So you have certainly heard of the Penhue Foundation. It specializes in Egyptian studies. It has the foundation itself, the building has a fairly well-regarded little museum and research collection, but it's mostly known for it raises money to fund Egyptology expeditions. It's very well regarded in London.
Yeah, and I did, I was reading through where are we right now?
Nairobi in Kenya.
Yeah. So where the hotel that Ingrid picked is the Norfolk Hotel.
Norfolk.
So that's number 7, which is up here.
Okay.
And the train station is here for reference. The hospital is over here.
All right. So are we in our rooms currently at the hotel?
Yeah, I'd say you've made the transition to the hotel, and that is the actual Norfolk Hotel from the period.
Was this the more ritzy one she was talking about?
There is the New Stanley Hotel, which is the ritziest of them all. The other possibility was Hampton House, which is smaller. More like it's not exactly bungalows, but it's just a smaller, quainter little, almost like a bed and breakfast kind of deal.
As they're settling in, Max kind of calls a war council. Look, we got a lot of leads here. A lot of people we can talk to. And she kind of taps her journal where she's written her cliff notes. But, I think we need to find this lady. As long as she's out there, oh no, she might send those things after us again. And yeah, it might not have been her, she says, looking at William, because he said something about it before, but she's the one that was at the train station. It makes sense to me. That she's at least spying for him.
It could be true. Well, we could try to find her. Don't know if we could at this point, but I mean, all we can do is try, really. Right?
Well, what about the mountain, Ingrid?
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to end up going there. But I want to figure out all we can here before we do. There's all these people that Jackson Elias spoke to. Tons of people. Sam Mariga, Neville Drummond, Dr. Sakara. This Nails Nelson said something about Brady. But Johnstone Kenyatta, that's his name. Some sort of revolutionary. He's the one that seems to know about the cult. Cult of the Bloody Tongue is apparently what they are locally.
I think that, well, if he's not dead already, you should try to seek him out then.
I agree.
William looks over that letter, the Shelley letter. He says, in Africa, Edward speaks of a powerful woman, the cult of the bloody tongue, and seems to believe that her contribution is critical to their success. It says here, in Shanghai, it would appear that the Penhue, yes, alive as we suspected, courts the support of the cult of the bloated woman.
Yeah, Black Pharaoh, bloated woman, bloody tongue.
It's all
It
the
seems
same
to
thing,
be.
really.
Yeah, I think it is. Just different names.
Well, if that woman wanted us dead, would she not follow us to the mountain?
She might, or there's just other people who could do it for her.
I don't know if she's the woman, but I don't know. Like in this letters, they talk about Carlisle he had a woman that he was always with, and they called her a negress, an African lady, and her name was Mweru, and that don't sound like this lady. So I don't know. I don't know which one is the important one, but this lady following us might just be an underling. Maybe an easier target for us.
William nods at that. Seems they have agents all over the place.
They do. I think one of the dangers is to think that they know all and see all. But they got their limits. They've been tested before, and they've screwed up before. And this Shelley lady, she says, here in the letter, find a weak link, exploit it. I think that's what we gotta do.
Well, we'll just have to go about trying to find a weak link in the first place. But, well, I'm sure you might be up to the task there, Maxine.
Well, if them fire creatures ain't gonna scare me off, ain't nothing else gonna scare me off either.
Well, as long as I don't have to go back to Egypt, whatever happens here, I'm all for it.
All right. What do y'all think about Ingrid?
She seems like a fine lass, I'd say. And when she lost Rory, based on what Rory was saying, two of them been having the dreams for quite a long time. Both of them tied together. Same things. I don't think she carries any malice towards us, and I don't think she's working with them. I think we need to keep her along and help her in a way. I wouldn't want to see anyone go towards that place and meet the same fate as everyone else.
Yeah. Maxine kind of looks down at her fingers, away from them. I want to trust her, but that don't come natural to me, and I don't like that feeling of a knife in the back. Anyway, if you all think that she's on the level, then yeah, I think that we could help each other.
Then
To be honest, I think we'd have a hard time shaking her if we tried.
I agree.
All right, folks. I think that's a good stopping point.
Cool.
We will pick up next week.
all right.
Awesome.
Great.